So we know that eSight 3 and eSight 2 has been such a wonderful device helping thousands of people in all of our communities. And eSight has really become an indispensable part of people's daily lives by helping them see better, to be more active, and to live a more independent life. So today we'll be speaking about how our newest product is going to be taken to the next level. Of course, we've taken feedback from a lot of folks who've been using our device, and we rolled it up into this new thing. And we're going to be speaking to Karam and Nadeem, who've been working in the product side. They've been living and breathing eSight 4 since its inception. So they've been leveraging all this research, like I said, from our users and our low vision community. So there's also people who don't have eSight that we've been speaking to and getting them involved in this roadmap. So I also want to thank a lot of people who are actually on this call who helped us out along the way, and I'm sure we'll be able to talk about them a little later on. So to get started, I have a deck here, and I hope everyone can see the screen. I've made the introductions today. My name is Yuval. I'm the Customer Success Manager here at eSight. I work with the coaches here when it comes to implementing this device to our new customers. And not only that, but we also support the product as well. So we have all these great events like the one that we're at right now, along with our Vision Central events that we have monthly and all types of calls that we have every single week at eSight. We're going to be talking about the future of eSight and our vision and what we put into this product, along with the features and upgrades. So without further ado, we'll start off with Karam and then Nadeem about our product. Thank you.
Thank you, Yuval, for that handover. And I'd like to thank everybody who's on this call. I think it's an amazing product launch that we're having today. And I know everyone's excited about eSight 4. So I think before we delve into eSight 4, what I'd like to tell you is a little bit about eSight 3. This was our previous generation product. It was a breakthrough product when it was released. It was much ahead of the competitors. It had the best in class acuity. So a lot of people were able to see things that they were not able to see before. It was very effective for a lot of people. And I would encourage you to go to our YouTube channel, and you can see videos where people are seeing their babies for the first time. They're reliving their wedding. They're doing a lot of stuff that they were really not able to do. And I think what it speaks to is that a lot of people were able to pick up their hobbies. They were able to pick up their jobs and, just become more independent and more productive with eSight 3. We also won a lot of awards with eSight 3. I think the most notable was that we were included in 2017 Times Best Inventions. So that's sort of the legacy that we had with eSight 3. And moving forward, we wanted to think about the vision, how we want to go forward with eSight 4. So Yuval, if you could go to the next slide, yeah. So what we wanted was, first of all, let's keep the legacy of E3 alive. So E3 was doing a lot of things right. Let's keep changing those lives with eSight 4, but we also wanted to improve upon that product. One of the key features that we were thinking of was, why don't we keep the focus on the users instead of, just thinking about what we come up with? Why don't we include the users and, just make them an integral part of the device? So I think eSight 4 speaks to the fact that it's not a product that was designed in a silo by us, but actually we did it with the help of a lot of you people. So what we did was, over the last 2 years, we worked with a lot of our users. We reached out to the community, and you guys delivered. Like, we have 2 years of research and development in this product. We've done over a dozen surveys and different research programs, which included phone calls with you guys, face-to-face interviews, prototype testing. Altogether, we reached over 140 users. And I think that's a big number. This ensured us that we would get real user feedback, and we wouldn't just develop a product that we think you guys need, but we actually have features that we definitely know that you all need. So I think that's something different that we've done. It's not just different compared to eSight 3. I think it's different compared to all of the other products that are out there in the market. So yeah, you guys delivered, and I'd really like to thank everyone who was part of this development. And we'll tell you what you guys told us and how we moved forward developing it.
Great, and just wanted to thank everyone for attending today's webinar. My name is Nadeem, and I worked with Karam, building out the product. I work primarily as a designer, and I wanted to really bring a human-centered touch to the product. As Karam mentioned, eSight 3 was a groundbreaking, really revolutionary product that changed people's lives, and it was such a pleasure and privilege to speak to so many people over the duration of these last few years, and really understands what your needs were and how to effectively implement that into the product. So one key feature that I really want to highlight is that this eSight 4 was not designed for a low vision community, but rather designed with the low vision community. It was really using your feedback and really letting us into your lives and into your homes. Despite COVID, we were able to really have virtual interviews and really be privileged to be welcomed into your homes. And there were really 4 key themes that stood out. And I'd love to go into greater detail, but just at a glance, visual acuity was certainly something that we wanted to improve upon. We had groundbreaking technology in eSight 3. So we learned that we could improve upon that and provide the ability to better read, see television, and effectively enjoy your life more. Mobility was a key feature that we really wanted to focus on as well. There was quite a lot of feedback that we had on eSight 3 and perhaps the limitations of a wire and a cord. So eSight 4 is groundbreaking in that extent because it is truly wireless and able to move with you and kind of encourage a more active lifestyle. Comfort as well was a huge improvement that we've made as well. There's a very balanced weight distribution of the device. So, whether you're in school taking classes, going to the movies, hiking, anything of the sort, it's really that kind of feedback that encouraged us to continue improving the device. And lastly, I'll go into greater detail about each aspect, but ease of use was another. With any kind of technological product, it's always a learning curve to understand how best to use it. And so that is certainly something that we implemented here as well. And just on the next slide, we'll just maybe show how we took what worked in eSight 3 because we knew that was already successful, and how could we effectively improve upon that, not just be evolutionary, but effectively revolutionary. How could we take the recipe and effectively just make that better? So as I mentioned, greater visual acuity comes in the form of camera lenses. Our screen resolution has always been improved. All day comfort and usage. So a device that lives with you throughout your day. Mobility, as mentioned, it just kind of provides you the ability to be a bit more active and mobile without the restrictions of a cord. And ease of use was a key feature here. And again, I'd love to go into greater detail in a couple more slides and just kind of discuss that and any questions that you might have. So yeah, the key feature, just to begin with, I'll pass it back over to Karam and he'll just discuss some visual acuity features.
Yes, as you know, this device is meant for vision, right? So one of the major changes that we did was work on the acuity. So just the sharpness of the device, generally how everything works. Essentially what we have is we have the best matched camera components that all combine together and give you a better picture. So I'll just rhyme off some of the features that we've improved, and that's by no means everything. It's just a sampling of what we've improved. So we have improved autofocus. So it uses a similar technology to what we used before, but it builds upon it, and it just works every time now. You don't have to fiddle with it. We have better light handling, like you'll get better pictures in low light, and even in direct sunlight, like if you're looking directly at a bright object, or you're trying to see in difficult lighting, it's going to work much better than eSight 3 did. We also have better image processing algorithms, so it's going to just make everything easier to see for you. And we even have the adjustable pupil distance and eye relief. So it's just speaking to all the adjustments that we have in order to get a clearer picture. So I think in short, what we can say is that the eSight 4 is definitely going to give you a better image than what the eSight 3 did. So that's, I think, all about acuity. I'll pass this on again to Nadeem to continue.
Thanks so much, Karam. And we certainly do want to rest our laurels on just camera quality. Its mobility is a huge aspect of our low vision focus. It's not being limited to a certain place to use a device, not being restricted to a certain use case, but true mobility really means that it transcends environments. It really allows you to get around, whether that's using public transit, walking around in your day-to-day life. And as you see with the device on my head, it's truly wireless. There are no cords whatsoever. And something that we wanted to focus on was actually retaining peripheral vision. So you ensure that you have 100% of your mobility retained there. We also have a feature that we carried over with eSight 3, just because we found that it was so effective, which is actually our patented bioptic tilt. As seen, I could wear the eSight and be able to see through it. But if I wanted that face-to-face kind of connection, I would always be able to just raise it up quite easily and just be able to better see my surroundings. Another key feature that came along with the mobility is actually a very easily swappable battery pack. Now, each battery does actually last for 3 hours. So you get really life on the go. Each eSight 4 comes with two batteries rather. So you could always pop in and pop out batteries as needed. And that just ensures that you really have true mobility with the device. And yeah, I'll just pass that over back over to Khurram.
Yeah, thank you. The next thing that I actually want to talk about is the comfort. So the biggest redesign that we did in terms of the hardware is sort of how the device looks. So right now I have the device in front of me, and it's completely, it looks different from what the eSight 3 did. And yeah, I'm sorry, some technical difficulties. So it looks completely different from what the eSight 3 did. And what we have here is there's a halo, and this adjusts to your head. So you can put it on and you can adjust it, and it comes with removable padding. You can remove all of this padding. You can clean it, you can wash it so that it doesn't have to get gross. We also have a unique design, which has a perfect weight distribution. So there's weight at the front, then there's weight at the back. And you can really see all the comfort when you put the device on your head. And once it's on your head, you actually have quite a few ways to adjust it. So there's this front dial, which you can use to make the halo bigger and smaller for it to fit on your head. You even have these dials on the side, which helps bring the device forward and backward, so you can wear it with your existing glasses. You can move the device up and down. There's another adjustment over here. When I take it off, you can even adjust the pupil distance by moving it over here. There's a lot of adjustability, and it all speaks to the comfort of this device. I mean, I know some people might think that this looks bigger than the eSight 3, but I'd really encourage you to just wear this device and see how it feels. I think you're going to understand that it's much more comfortable than what we had in eSight 3. And I think one of the biggest features is that you can bring your own eyeglasses. So I don't wear any eyeglasses, but if I did, I could really wear this over my own eyeglasses. So again, I want to just say that we worked a lot on the comfort, and I think it shows. So I'll just pass this back on to Nadeem.
Thanks, Khurram. And yeah, just to add to that, as you can see, I'm certainly someone that does wear glasses myself. So it has really been groundbreaking, the ability to not require separate, RX or prescription glasses, but the ability to actually wear my eSight directly over my glasses just ensures that I can have that flexibility of use. And it just matches my life. And when it comes to ease of use, I do hope that it comes across on camera, but there are actually tactile dots and a touchpad actually on the right-hand side of my device. And that just ensures that I can always feel where that touchpad is. Using that touchpad, there's actually a truly wireless control, again, when it comes to ease of use. So I can actually zoom in directly using my eSight, adjust the contrast if I needed to. And that kind of ease of use ensures that you can take the device out with you, whether that's playing golf, grocery shopping. You don't need to carry any kind of additional kind of carry-on accessories with you. And just to kind of speak in addition to the ease of use, we wanted to ensure that all this technology wasn't too much of a learning curve to kind of understand and to grasp. We do have a wide range of users from children through to older clientele. So we wanted to make sure that it's really easy to understand for everyone. And what that translated to was interactive lessons actually built onto the device. So if you want to, use the device out of the box, by all means, it's as easy as putting it on, turning it on, and it's ready to go, and it's ready for life. But if you did, in fact, want to learn some of the more advanced features, again, as I mentioned, we have interactive lessons to actually learn with the device. And interactive means it's not just a video, but it's actually going to train you of how to use the device. So a lesson could be pertaining to Zoom, and would actually teach you how to use Zoom on the device, how to zoom out, adjust the contrast. And what that ensures is that you really have enhanced vision, up to 24x zoom, contrast, the ability to adjust modes, filters. And what's fantastic after that is the connected features that do actually come along with the device. So the benefit of our digital world is, the internet has allowed us all to connect, as we're seeing here. It's really amazing that we have over 230 people as part of our community and in this meeting at the moment. But that same internet connectivity ensures that the eSight itself is always connected to the internet if you wanted it to be. And that internet access actually ensures that you'll always get updates on the device for as long as you have it, free updates that come along with it. And what that means is what you're seeing today in August 2020 will be completely different in August 2021 with the constant feedback and the constant updates that we want to improve, just getting your feedback. That'll just ensure that we can always have a device that is fresh, it's new, and it's based off of things that you want to see. So to that end, I'd love to show an additional feature that eSight does actually provide. And what we call that is eSupport or eShare, and that actually allows you to allow your loved ones to actually see what you see. Now, this is something that we're really quite proud of, and it ensures that if you ever wanted help using your eSight, you can actually do so from anywhere in the world. So if you wanted to get support from one of our great support team members, coaches, from anywhere in the world, as long as your eSight is connected to the internet, hypothetically, you're down under in Australia, and we have our support team out here in Canada or the US. They'd always be able to connect to your device, and Yuval's actually just kind of demonstrating what this platform looks like. So either using my eSight serial number or my email address, he would simply enter that detail in there. He'd press search. And what that's going to do for your own privacy is, on my device at the moment, I'm getting a prompt to actually connect or allow Yuval's connection rather. So I'm going to go ahead and actually permit that connection. And what that could translate to is, whether you have a loved one or child at work, at school, and if you're a parent or a caregiver, you can actually see exactly what that eSight user is wearing. So in this case, I'd love to be able to show you my view from home. And as you're seeing on the screen, anywhere in the world, actually, you'd be able to see what your loved ones are seeing, able to zoom. And a fantastic feature that comes along with that, you'll hopefully be able to show, by pressing the home button down there, you would actually be able to make adjustments to the to my eSight. So Yuval, would you be able to maybe show that? And this is a great example of support on the fly. So if you were having difficulty, managing your own device, your loved one, a caregiver or support person could actually do just that. And it's a phenomenal feature to have, because it's, again, anywhere in the world, support could be available to you.
So maybe I can adjust the font that you're seeing. Currently it's set to extra large, but let's just say I want to drop it down to medium. I now updated that, and all remotely while you're at your home and while I'm here at the eSight offices. I click the home button, off I go, back to the main screen. There we go.
Perfect. Thank you for making those adjustments, Yuval. And again, just kind of shows that it's not only to see, but it's also for support. And as you can see, either through the webcam of myself, or perhaps even through this eSight display, is that I now have two ways to control my device. To the right, we have a truly wireless Bluetooth control incredibly lightweight, incredibly thin, high contrast as well. So it just ensures that it's quite easy to see. And we didn't want to rest on our laurels there. We understood that, you know, in 2020, most people have cell phones with them. So why not play to that strength? We actually built a full-fledged mobile app available on iOS and Android devices. And as you're seeing here, it's actually high contrast, high icons, or large icons rather. And I'm able to actually make adjustments by just swiping on my phone. So whether that's contrast adjustments, a great feature that we have available on eSight 4 is called Finder. So if I wanted to quickly snap in and out of a zoom, I could do just that. And I've heard from feedback from people that we've spoken to is it's a great use case. You know, something as simple as being on the subway, being able to look at transit signs, things of that nature. It's a great feature to have. And outside of that, our app has other great features called eCast. And if you ever wanted to actually view content directly from your phone, I'll just maybe show you what the app looks like. So again, it's very simple to use and incredibly high contrast. And there's a few features there called eCast, eMirror, Gallery, Remote. I'll just give you a quick demonstration of eCast. So if I had any kind of photos or videos on my phone, I could actually view them directly on the eSight. So I'm going to go ahead and select those items. And I'm going to go ahead and press View on eSight. Now, as you're noticing, my eSight display will actually send those photos and videos over to my eSight. So if I was having some difficulty looking at my phone and looking at pictures, I can actually view them directly on the device as well. And yeah, it's a great feature. And it works in reverse as well. So if I had photos or videos taken on my eSight, I could actually send them and transfer them over to my eSight. Again, so many great features I would love for you to demo and test on your own time. But a great feature that I did also want to showcase was our eMirror functionality. And this was really by speaking to people that we do get these insights that presently you might be using your phone using a magnifying glass just to get very close to your phone, but we wanted to actually get your phone closer to you. So we built in a feature called eMirror, which will effectively mirror your phone. So anything that you see on your phone is now actually on my eSight. And what that translates to is a much easier experience with reading my phone or viewing it rather. So as you're seeing, I'm actually on the Facebook page for eSight. I do encourage you to subscribe and follow us there to stay updated with all things eSight if you're not already. And a great feature that that comes along with is using my phone, I can actually pinch to zoom and look at content a bit easier. So whether that's looking at photos, you know, reading an email, it's so much easier to view if I can actually see it directly on my eSight. And again, because our devices are connected to the internet, it ensures that for as long as you have an eSight 4, you'll constantly get updates to the device. So it's something that we constantly want to improve upon with your feedback. So yeah, great features that are available. I really encourage you to give us a call and try it on eSight, and hopefully this fit into your life. So those are some connected features. Thanks so much for your time and patience doing that.
And in addition to that, you know, whenever we have these updates that will roll out, we have to keep you guys abreast of any situation. So if any updates, we will well inform you of those updates, and you would actually have to confirm when those updates get sent out. So when it comes to our our digital world and the fact that we're connected, it's important that you know exactly what's happening with your device as we move forward, and also provide some sort of influence to our roadmap as we continually evolve. So what I'd like to do now, I want to first of all thank Khurram and Nadeem for joining us today to talk more about the eSight 4. We'd advise anyone who has an eSight 3 to try eSight by contacting your coach or calling us here at our center in Toronto, and we can get you a device shipped out to you as soon as you commit to try out the device. It's really important that it's good for you. And if not, you can ask your questions here or to anybody on the eSight team. So what I'll do now is, Crystal, are you with us? Perhaps we can get a couple of questions answered here while we have Crystal on Facebook and also here in the Zoom chat.
Yeah, so you might have answered this, touched on this a little bit, but Lars on Facebook is asking if you can do a really quick comparison between E3 and E4.
Sure, I think Karam can probably get to that. Karam, when it comes, we did talk earlier on about the improvements that we've made to the eSight. I mean, we still love eSight 3. It's like Nadeem said, a revolutionary device when it came out in 2017. And as a company, I think it's really important to take the feedback of all of our customers and figure out how we can improve our product to not only improve on the eSight 3, but to build the product from the ground up. We have a more connected world, so I think that would be one thing. But Karam, I'll let you go ahead and take this because I know you've been living and breathing these improvements for the last couple of months.
Sure, thank you, Yuval. And I think what I'd like to say is I'd like to reiterate that what you said regarding eSight 3 being an amazing product. It's still an amazing product. There's no doubt about it. I think still a lot of people who are going to use it, they're going to find a lot of benefit to eSight 3. What we did with eSight 4 was actually just look at what common issues people are facing with the eSight 3. For example, I'll just rhyme them off the top of my head. So number one was comfort. So that was something that we heard from a lot of people that, you know, when you put the device on, it sort of touches your nose, it leaves some marks on your forehead. So we've solved all those problems with the eSight 4. One of the other things that we heard a lot about was the wire coming out. So a lot of people were worried about, you know, if someone's walking by, they might get, you know, they might get caught on the wire, or my wire might get caught on the chair that I'm sitting on. So we've just completely gotten rid of the wire. It's completely wireless. One of the other big features, which I think Nadeem talked about, was the removable batteries. So now you don't really need to plug it in. You have removable batteries. So you just have this on your head, right? If the batteries goes out, I'll just go reach out, I'll take this battery out, I'll put it down, I'll take out another fully charged battery, I'll put it back in, right? That's all. You don't even have to turn the unit off. It's like you can do this all while you're using the eSight 4. There's also the other parts which you talked about. So the connectivity is there. It's a lot more connected to your mobile phone, to the internet, and ease of use, again, finally coming back. I know that we had a lot of features in eSight 3. They weren't perhaps located in the best position. People weren't able to use them. With the eSight 4, I think everything makes much more sense, and people are able to find all those features by themselves. And again, having those different parts, so you can control the device entirely from the eSight 4 itself. So that's very simple. Then you have another added level of using the remote control. So if you are a more advanced user, you use it with the remote control. If you're, for example, a more techie user, then you can use it with your mobile phone. So there's different ways to use the device. So I think what we've done is taken all the feedback that we had with eSight 3 and improved upon it. At the base, it's still the same amazing vision that you got with eSight 3, just a little bit better in all of other aspects.
You know, one question that I've received a couple of times, Karam, is that some users who have an eSight 3, obviously the eSight 3 has a lot of technology in it when it comes to the camera and the logic board and the screens and the prisms. There's a lot of stuff in that visor. One improvement that I hear about around the office here is the fact that it's actually cooler as a device. Can you speak more about how we cooled the device, or at least made it a little less hot than the eSight 3?
Yeah, and I think that the biggest thing that we've done is that now there's a whole new sort of cooling system built into it. We have a lot of cooling going on. There's a lot of heat pipes that redirect all the heat away from your eyes. So on the one hand, we've tried to reduce the heat that it emits internally by, you know, having a stronger processor and, you know, just having more efficient algorithms. And on the other part, whatever heat is generated, we've created a good enough cooling system that it just prevents all that heat from reaching the user.
Sorry, Yuval, I think you might just actually be on mute. Couldn't hear you there.
Yes, that was me miming the fact that Melanie Davis is with us. Hopefully you lip readers there heard me. But Melanie's with us. I'm going to ask her to unmute and ask her a question. Melanie, how are you today? Perhaps she's also miming as well. Okay. Well, I'll keep her unmuted. Maybe she can work out the microphone piece. Let's see if we can get another person to get a question out. We have Shane. Shane, are you with us today? Thank you, everyone, for your patience when it comes to the audio. I'm going ahead and asking Shane to unmute himself. We got somebody. Hello, Shane.
Hello. Couple questions. I'm an eSight user, and I have cerebral palsy with that, so my hands don't work as well as everybody else. So I'm one of the main guys that had problems with that stupid cord getting kinked up and everything. So I'm really excited about the wireless faction. But my question is, how hard is it to take the batteries in and out? Because I work 6 hours a day, so I need to have constant, visual. I need to be able to see. So how hard is it? And then how much is the cost of the unit? If I want to try it out, how much does it cost as a current eSight user? Perfect.
Thanks so much, Shane. Nadeem, would you be able to demo the removal and the addition of the battery as we go on?
Certainly, Shane, great question. And thanks so much for joining the call today. Yeah, thank you so much for, first of all, being an eSight user, and I'd love to get to know you a bit more and understand what we could improve upon. But to answer your question, eSight 4 does allow you to actually remove the battery. As you can maybe see, it's actually just slotted on the back, so I can actually just remove it just like so. And the beautiful part actually about the device, or the battery more specifically, is there's no right or wrong way to actually put it in. We realize that if it is in fact on your head, it's one of those things you might not know how to put it in. So it's actually reversible. The battery itself, it's symmetrical to that extent. So you can put it in either direction. And I'll just actually show you how I'm putting it right back in. So it's as easy as that. But if you ever wanted to remove it, so if you are if one of our viewers are perhaps have longer hair or something of the sort, you can always by all means take off the device and actually just take it in and out just like so. And again, each battery gives you about 3 hours of runtime, and you could always charge it. It's a fast charge as well, and you could just pop it right back on there. So I hope that does answer your question regarding the battery. Incredibly easy, and again, it's reversible, so that just ensures there's no mistaking the battery direction. Regarding cost, I think you had a question there. I'll let perhaps Yuval, if you'd like to take that over.
Thanks so much. And I do have a follow-up question for you, Nadeem, in terms of our power system and what comes in the box. But yeah, so the device is $5,950 US. And we do have other programs, and we advise you to talk to your coach on how to upgrade, because there's many programs for you to take advantage of during this launch. And we're excited to share it with you. We just want to hear how you're using the device, because I can speak for the whole company. We can put a product out there, but how people use it is a completely different story. And Nadeem, I was hoping maybe you can talk about what comes in the box, like how many batteries come within the unit, and how long is the actual charge, and how do you charge it? I mean, I have so many questions.
All great questions. And, we certainly encourage you to call in if we didn't answer any of your questions today. And certainly one of our helpful eSight support agents would be happy to help you out there. But as for what comes in the box, you get a beautiful eSight 4 in this really stylish color. There is also a truly wireless remote. As you're seeing, it's incredibly thin and lightweight too, so it really fits in the pocket. You do in fact get two of these batteries in each device. And as you're noticing, I've actually taken off the battery, and yet my eSight has remained on. And that effectively just ensures that your device never turns off. So you can pop the battery in and off, it'll still stay on. And it's always kind of ready for your life on the go. Other than that, the eSight comes with a really redesigned carrying case too. It's much more slicker. So, you can carry all of your goods with it. There's a kind of a strap that allows you to kind of carry it with you. And as for power and how that can fit into your life, not only can you use it wirelessly or using the battery, but if you are hypothetically, due to COVID, whether you're at school or at home or just at television, you're trying to sit down and use it for an extended duration of time, you can actually connect your eSight directly, and that'll just ensure that you can use it indefinitely. The device itself can be used stationary while you're sitting down. while at a computer, again, in front of a television, and that'll just ensure your eSight will remain on and running despite that kind of 3-hour battery life. If you plug it in, it's effectively, as long as you want to use it, the eSight will keep up with you. So great questions. Please do keep them coming.
Thank you so much, Shane. But when you purchase an eSight 4, you get 2 swappable batteries. And I believe there's an internal battery in there. Is that right, Nadeem?
That's correct. Yeah, and that internal battery, as I mentioned, when the device or the battery is actually taken off, that internal battery just actually ensures that the device does stay on. So, fear not when you take that battery off and you're maybe looking for the second one, the device itself will stay up and running. It's almost like the E when you're in your car. There's always that backup if you run out of gas. So we've really had those kind of considerations that even when the battery is out, the device is still going to be up and running and functional. The internal battery will sort of be that fail-safe in the event that you are scrambling looking for that second battery.
We've all been there, at least with our phones. We have another question from Facebook about our field of view. I was hoping that maybe Karam can talk about that. I mean, I love the fact that we're able to change the distance on the device, but go ahead, Karam, and share with us your story.
Sure. The field of view is the same as that we had in eSight 3, which is 37.5 degrees diagonal. I think one thing to mention is that the field of view actually works hand in hand with peripheral vision. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to enhance your central vision without taking away your peripheral vision. So there are devices out there that have a much larger field of view, but if you understand, like, the central vision is like right over here, if we're just replacing the central vision, all of the sides are open for you to see. So when you put on eSight, it's really a mobile device which allows you to use your peripheral vision. If we were to replace all of that and like have a big screen which covers everything, you wouldn't really have a mobile device. So that's sort of the trade-off with mobility. If you have a lot of a big field of view, you don't have any mobility remaining. And the people that come to us are actually coming to replace most of their central vision or augment their central vision. So that's one of the reasons that we've intentionally kept this field of view at 37.5 degrees. I hope that answers the question. If there's any more elaboration needed, I'm happy to do that.
Thank you, Karam. I have Nicholas as well. I mean, Nicholas from Florida. I know I've seen you around. I would love to hear your question on the new eSight 4 and when we can get one out to you. But I mean, what's your question for today? Because we have Karam and Nadeem here. I would love to hear from you, Nick. Feel free to unmute yourself if you're currently still on mute.
Okay, so my question is, so the eSight 3 had a problem where if you turn it off, will the battery just die like on eSight 3? Because I hate that problem with eSight 3.
It's a great question. Power management.
Yeah, so what I understand is that you're saying if you charge the eSight 3 and you leave it for a few days, the battery dies. Is that what you're trying to ask?
Oh, Nick, I think you're still on mute here. And I think it's just natural battery drainage, Karam. There you go.
What I'm trying to say is that let's say you charge the eSight and you turn it off for a couple days after it's charged. Will the battery just drain like on eSight 3?
No, it will not. So what we what we actually recommend is that when you're storing the device for an extended period of time, instead of leaving the battery inside, the best practice is to remove the battery, store the battery separately and this headset separately. And we've actually had a battery which has been on the shelf for the last 2 months, and it still has, I think, 3 lights on it. So it's still 70%. So it's not gonna, discharge in a couple of days or even in a couple of weeks.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Karam. Let's see. Do we have any other people here? Oh, I see Kyle is with us. Kyle, I've gone ahead and asked you to unmute. So just if you'd like to unmute yourself and ask your question to Karam or Nadeem on eSight 4. Now, Kyle Williams is also a Buffalo Bill football player, from what I understand. Hey, Kyle.
Good. Hi. How are you?
Well, thank you.
Good. Um, where do I start? I've got tons of questions. I'm super excited for the release of this product. I've been waiting for a very long time. In the beginning, you have mentioned that you had a couple of people that were obviously doing the assisting of the testing of the product and all of that. I am low vision myself. I do suffer with optic atrophy. I've not seen or heard or dealt with anybody that does have optic atrophy that does use the eSight. How does one sign up for a beta tester as somebody that has a specific eye condition that is one of the listed eye conditions that eSight works for, to ensure that it does work, perfect for that eye condition?
That's a great question. And we see it all the time. I mean, we have a lot of people who use and rely on eSight. For me, it's all about engagement. I manage the coaching team here. So when we see that there's a user, and a lot of them are actually on this call right now, which is great. And a lot of these people have provided feedback for their particular condition, because eSight is a really big product. It does a lot of things for a lot of people. Often when people decide to try eSight, they try to solve, one or two of the problems that they have. But here at eSight, what we like to do is we like to engage our users in a way to learn more about the product. And when we see that there are people who are really invested in us, we like to give back. And we get them to help us with our roadmap and understanding what direction we need to take the device. Karam mentioned it. We had 140. I'd say it's even more than 140. Those are the official ones. But we've had several surveys go out. We've spoken long form interviews with a lot of people on how we should actually make the product a little bit better.
Yes.
So in terms of accessibility, eSight is super accessible. We're able to talk to you about the fact that you get a coach right off, right at the beginning of your experience to help you learn about the product, and then all the other events that we have to help you adopt it in a different way. That to me is more of a testament of how eSight handles the community.
And Yuval, if I may, hi, I'm Cosmo. I'm an eSight coach, and I actually have bilateral optic nerve atrophy, OA1, the genetic kind, and my vision's 20 over 400. And so I do have it, and eSight works fabulously for me. With it, I can see 20/40. So unaided, I'm 20 over 400, and with it, 20/40. So optic nerve atrophy clients are, I think, really good candidates for eSight, but everybody's is different. My optic nerve atrophy could be different from yours, but it's definitely worth checking out.
Perfect. My main reason for asking was because I'm all the way in South Africa, and I actually have noticed that the way people in South Africa use the assistive technology, they actually use it, to a certain extent for different or in a different way than your conventional person, in America or wherever, who'd actually use the product. I've got a client that is low vision. He's got his driver's license. He drives, and he uses a magnifier, mounted up against his dashboard to see what, just to view the robot. I mean, he's driving. He's using I think it's called monoculars, and they are using it in a completely different ways that was not even thought of that it would be used for. They are actually using it, in that way. And I mean, to have somebody as a South African person trying it in, the unconventional way, I think would also be an amazing thing.
Awesome. That's great to hear. I know here in North American laws, we don't have we're not allowed driving if we're using an eSight device, but it's great to hear stories from around the world when it comes to the different laws that govern their nations. But thank you so much for the question, Kyle. I really do appreciate you joining us today.
Thank you.
I have Rashida. Hello, Rashida. How are you doing today? Hopefully your audio works. Fingers crossed. Rashida, you can press the mute button if you
I'm
wish.
here. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I like to give
Perfect.
about 12 seconds.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Thank you.
Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So first of all, thank you very much for the presentation. It's been fantastic. I'm currently an eSight 3 user and loving it, but very excited about this product. So my question was just, and you guys mentioned the cooling features that have been added, but I am curious because the battery is at the back of your head, is there any heat that's emitted from it? And are there any, I guess, concerns or anything you might need to do differently, you know, especially if you have a lot of hair back there, for example?
Great question. Karam, is that something that you can address when it comes to the heat in the back? And plus, if you have a lot of hair, or maybe we can ask somebody else for that.
I think Nadeem can take this.
Okay, thanks, Karam.
Sure, thanks. And yeah, very nice to meet you, Rashida. Glad to hear that eSight 3 is working so well for you. And yeah, certainly the heat was, you know, a big improvement that we made strides upon. So not only is it cool in terms of the touch, but dare I say, I think it's actually much cooler to kind of look at aesthetically. But to answer your question about heat and the battery, no, it's actually a great question. There isn't actually heat being emanating, I suppose, from the battery. The heat itself does primarily come from the processor, which is effectively all housed in the visor. And I hope it does come across, but actually on the top, there's the heat will effectively be emanating from the top of the device. So it's all being taken out and away from your face, so away from your eyes, your nose, and away from the face. It becomes a lot more comfortable. So when it comes to heat, it is better distributed, better released away from your face. And again, that just all speaks to the kind of comfort and mobility that we really wanted to make strides upon. And for the notion of long hair, that's a great question. And it's really something that we actually saw during our research phase. You know, if you do have long hair, I guess one thing that I would maybe say as a potential heads up is because the battery does, you know, clip in and out, there is maybe the risk of it getting stuck. So it's one of those practices. It's just maybe good to know if you are swapping the battery in and out, just be cognizant of your hair. But another, I guess, easy or rather simple workaround is because the device is so easy to be taken on and off, you can always take it off just to ensure that your hair does not get stuck and just pop it in and out. But to that end, I think through repetition and understanding the device and the battery location, it's one of those things I guess you just kind of learn to kind of adopt when it becomes a part of your life. And I'd like to actually maybe pass it over to Jeanette, who is actually an eSight user herself, one of our lovely coaches. And as you can see, has beautiful locks. So, you know, Jeanette, perhaps you can speak to that yourself. I think you are actually on mute, Jeanette. So if you should be okay there now.
Yes, Jeanette, you'll have to unmute yourself if you can.
Am I unmuted?
There we go. You're back. Hello, Jeanette.
Thank you. Hi. So my hair is halfway down my back. It goes halfway down my back roughly, and at first I used to find that it did get caught a little bit in the battery, but what I find is if you put the device on, I'm going to see if I don't think people can probably see, but basically once I lay the back of the device over my hair, if I lay it down flat enough, you know, if it's aligned to the back of my neck, then I'll find that changing the battery is no problem at all. I guess it depends on, you know, how full your hair is, but if you lay it down on the back of your neck, I'll find changing the battery or just pulling the battery out, putting it back in, it's very easy. Just make sure that your hair is, you know, it's over your hair, and that's it.
All right, pretty simple. And Nadeem also mentioned that you can take the device off and replace the battery if that works better for you. You'll only need to do it, you know, once every 2 or 3 hours, so it's worth the break. But thank you so much, Jeanette, for helping us out, and thank you, Rashida, for the question. We can talk real quickly about distribution, because I know a lot of people here are from outside of North America. We had a user from South Africa and a couple of questions on Facebook. Maybe I can ask Shannon about availability in Europe. I'm getting that from our Facebook group. So Shannon, do you have a second just to discuss availability and when we can expect a launch in that geography?
Absolutely. So actually, it was just last week we were thrilled to be able to announce that we received the CE mark. So the CE mark is a requirement that to be able to sell a medical device in Europe. And so we've passed that threshold now with eSight 4, and we're thrilled to have that. It just definitely shows that we have all the policies, processes, and technology in place to be awarded that mark. And we announced that coming this fall, we'll be entering the eSight 4 into UK, Germany, and France. And you'll see additional countries rolled out after that time.
Terrific. Thanks so much, Shannon. We have another question from somebody here in Zoom. Terry, are you with us today?
Yes, I am. Could you hear
Terry.
me?
Absolutely. How are you today?
I'm good. It's my first time watching anything like this, and I'm really intrigued with the technology and would like to have more information about it. I have aniridia, so that's my question. Is for somebody with aniridia, would this be compatible? Like, is it something that I can use? Like at the moment, the only thing I really use is like to work on the computer. I use Zoom text. So
Perhaps I can. Great question. That we do serve a lot of conditions. I know I can probably reach out to one of the coaches who are on the call here, and I see Jeanette is available. Jeanette, have you ever worked with that condition before?
Can you remind me of the condition again, Kelly?
Aniridia.
Aniridia.
I'm sorry, Anne-Marie. Oh, AMD, basically AMD, right? It's also known as AMD, isn't it?
I don't believe so. I think
I don't think so. No.
That's age related. I think aniridia is the pupils, right?
Yes. So I have no irises.
Yeah. So I know there's a couple of very young users that actually use eSight, but the most important thing, other than coming out with really great products, which we do, the most important thing that we do here is screen out the candidates. It's really important that the device works for you. I mean, when it comes to, and if this is the first time you're on this chat, you're probably hearing about eSight for the first time, or at least you're hearing a lot more about eSight. But we do a very, very good job in screening. I mean, this is something that is extremely important because, with the eSight device, we have to make sure that the device is right for the user. And if it's not, it just doesn't make sense. But I know Jeanette is dying to share something right now. I can see she's raising her hand and doing all these great things.
I'm sorry, I hadn't answered the question properly, so I apologize for that. But because I don't know too much about what that condition, if it affects the central vision or if it affects the peripheral. But what I can say is that if you're using Zoom text, the chances are you should be able to use eSight. I mean, I have many of the people that I work with who have previously used Zoom text, who find that sitting there using their computer with eSight is very beneficial. I myself used to use a screen reading software actually primarily on my computer. And now I've transitioned to mainly using eSight with it. So I think it's possible, definitely.
Well, I'll certainly look into it then. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Okay. I have Maria also here. I'll go ahead and ask Maria to unmute. We'll give this Maria, you'll get the last question today, if that's okay.
Yes. Just a moment. Okay. Can you hear us?
Yes, we can. Hello.
Okay. I'm her husband. What happened is that she had a stroke in February, and she knows what she wants, but she don't know how to express it. So we were living in Orlando, and we went through the screening, and she was qualified completely that she could use the device. I think in 2017 it was the first device that came out. And because of other complications, we have to move, all kind of things. But she's completely interested in the device, and now it's a lot better than whenever that screening that it was in Orlando. Okay, with the screening she got in Orlando, is that good enough for now, or she would have to go again through the screening?
you know, we always advise that you come back. I mean, a simple phone call will do it. We have a couple of key questions, like Jeanette said. I mean, if you're able to use magnification tools like Zoom text, a magnifier, if you're able to watch TV up close and see relatively good detail, I think you'd be a good candidate, but I'd always go to one of our advisors. I can put the phone number up for you, which is probably a good segue to where we're going. I mean, this is, can't really ask for a better one here, but here we have the contact information we would hope for you guys to contact. You can call our phone number and you'll talk to an advisor who will help you understand whether or not the device is right for you. Or you can send us an email, or you can just go right back to esighteyewear.com and enter one of the forms out. We will still have your data. So whatever information you provided back in Orlando back in 2017, that information will still be with us so that we can help you get eSight and make it work for you. But I do appreciate the question. That's really great. Thank you so much, Maria, and I hope you're doing well. And I think this is, I mean, I want to be cognizant of your time. I'm so happy that so many people showed up for our event today. It's really great to have guys like Karam and Nadeem here, as well as everybody else here at eSight to make this this event possible. I would advise you to go ahead and make a phone call or talk to your coaches if you already have an eSight 3 and get those questions out of the way, because I know there's still a couple of them that I haven't gotten to. So thank you so much, everyone, for joining the call today, and we hope to hear from you soon.